Welcome back, everyone, to your weekly Anchor Update. I'm Brody.
And I found this cool hat. Today's top stories: a Warwick school bus crashes into a ditch. First responders in Warwick dive into the water to save a 71-year-old driver. Middletown and Newport reopen talks about combining school districts, and former Fall River Mayor Will Flanagan is stabbed multiple times, and the suspect is in custody.
First, we'll send it to Joe with our upcoming events.
Thanks, guys. It's a busy week ahead here at Rhode Island College. Let's take a look at what's coming up around campus. First, this Thursday, October 23rd, stop by the Quad between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. for the End the Stigma Mental Health Community Resource Fair. Students, faculty, and staff are invited to learn about resources, connect with support services, and help raise awareness for mental health on campus.
On Friday, October 24th, the Accessibility Coalition is hosting a community paint night in the Bistro Cafe inside the Student Union. It runs from 3 to 6 p.m., a great way to paint, connect, and advocate while creating something colorful.
Then, on Saturday, October 25th, get ready for a festive night of fun. The sophomore class will be hosting a pumpkin painting and Halloween movie night in the Student Union Ballroom from 6 to 8 p.m. There will also be a costume contest, so bring your best Halloween look.
And coming up next week on Wednesday, October 29th, Mental Health First and training will be offered right here on campus. It's a great opportunity to learn how to recognize and respond to signs of mental health challenges in others.
That's it for on-campus events. Back to Brody and Tim.
Thanks, Joe and Reagan. Now let's send it over to Jill and Shane with our sports.
Hello and welcome back to the Anchor TV Sports Recap. As always, my name is Jill Guilfoyle.
And I'm Shane Marshall.
Let's take a look back at what was an exciting homecoming weekend for Rick Athletics.
First, let's take a look at our Anchor women volleyball team. Rhode Island College versus Regis College, LEC versus the GNAC. First set, Anchor women in a back-and-forth affair, up 1 against the Pride, 18-17, but they're able to pull away victorious with a 25-20 victory, thanks to service error from Regis. On to the second set, way more comfortable now for the Anchor women. They win 25-20. Kill attempt by Regis can't clear the net to secure Rick's 2-0 lead. The Anchor women would then drop the next 2 sets to the Pride, but they're able to close things down in set 5. Ulysses Alvelo to Andrea Williams to close out the match at the Murray Center, 3-2. It's now 3 straight wins for the Anchor women to bring them back to 500 with a 10-10 record.
An LEC men's soccer championship rematch, the Anchormen hosting Western Connecticut State with an electric homecoming crowd backing Rick. It was a silent first half, but things really ramped up in the second. Down a goal, freshman Luzandro Sanchez is able to punch it in from up close for Rick following a header from Daniel Jabach in the 66th minute. He wasn't done for the day yet. Just moments later in the 67th minute, Luzandro Sanchez again found the back of the net. Elijah Nunes' free kick deflecting off the wall of WestCon defenders and settling onto the feet of Sanchez, getting the ball in and giving the Anchormen the 2-1 advantage. Rhode Island College unfortunately couldn't hold on as the Wolves scored 2 late goals in the final minutes, Western Connecticut winning 3-2. The Anchormen still look for their first LEC win.
Concluding our homecoming events, our women's tennis team had their senior day against UMass Boston, downing the Beacons 5-2 to clinch the outright Little East regular season championship belt. The Anchor women swept all 3 doubles matches, the first match finishing up from the first doubles team of senior Erica Patello and sophomore Haley Peacock. Peacock was also the first to finish at second singles with a 2-0 win in her match. Congratulations to Patello and fellow senior Lucy Hu on fantastic careers with the Anchor women.
That's it and that's all. Catch the Anchor TV Sports Recap next week. This has been Jill Guilfoyle and Shane Marshall. Back to Brody and Tim.
Thanks, guys. Now for today's top stories.
Talks about school regionalization are back on the table between Middletown and Newport. The Middletown Town Council voted unanimously Monday night to accept an invitation from Newport to discuss what combining schools could look like for both communities. Council President Paul Rodriguez said the goal is to start a public conversation, adding, quote, "We just want to start talking about it and see where it goes." While the council agreed to begin discussions, members said it was far too early to take further steps, like forming an advisory commission or discussing funding options. Some officials point to rising costs and declining enrollment as reasons to explore merging, but the school committee has cautioned that ongoing construction and test score improvements need attention first. School committee chairperson Greg Hewitt said the board could revisit the idea if issues like financial impact, academics, and governance are addressed. The two towns discussed regionalization back in 2022, but the plan failed after Newport voters rejected it by about 400 votes. A date for a joint meeting has not yet been set.
A scary moment in Warwick Tuesday afternoon after a school bus carrying 7 elementary students veered off the road into a small ditch near the Briarwood Meadows apartment complex off Quaker Lane, right near the East Greenwich line. Thankfully, none of the students were hurt and have been since reunited with their families. Police say the bus driver suffered only minor scrapes and was not seriously injured. The Warwick Police Department says early information points to possible mechanical issues with the bus, though officers have not yet completed their inspection. School bus provider First Student has placed their driver on administrative leave while it conducts an internal review. In a letter to parents, Warwick Superintendent William McCaffrey reassured families that the district is working closely with police and First Student, saying, quote, "The safety and well-being of our students is our highest priority."
The man accused of stabbing former Fall River Mayor Will Flanagan is set to return to court on Wednesday. Police say 31-year-old Corey Gonzalez is being held after allegedly assaulting 4 officers during his arrest. He was arraigned Tuesday afternoon and entered a not guilty plea. Gonzalez is being held without bail pending a mental health hearing. The attack happened Monday evening on Hartwell Street near the Cosmopolitan Dispensary, which Flanagan owns. Surveillance video shows Flanagan walking on the sidewalk when Gonzalez approached him from behind and stabbed him multiple times. First responders found Flanagan with serious injuries and rushed him to the hospital, where he underwent surgery and remains in serious condition. The investigation remains ongoing as officers continue to gather evidence surrounding the attack.
The Warwick Police Department is honoring first responders who risked their lives to save a driver from a submerged car over the weekend. Officers arrived to Arnold Neck's Drive Saturday night and found a vehicle about 100 feet from shore with only the roof above water. Witnesses said someone had been inside before it sank. 3 officers immediately jumped into the water and began searching. Body camera video shows them swimming out, locating the driver, and pulling him from the fully submerged vehicle. The driver was identified as 71-year-old Frank Davis of Warwick. He was rushed to Kent County Memorial Hospital, where he remains in critical condition. Davis's wife, Linda, said he often visited the water to relax and believes he may have lost control due to a medical issue. She thanked the first responders, saying, "They got on his pulse and on the way back to the hospital, and I can't thank them enough." Warwick Police praised officers Matthew Maloney, Nicholas Menacchio, and Maxwell Neely for their bravery and quick actions.
That's all we have for this week. Thank you all for watching,
And we will see you next week.